In the third month of being exploited by my boss, I custom-ordered a biosynthetic android that looked exactly like him. During the day, I'd get yelled at by my boss at the company. At night, I'd tie the android to my bed and have my way with him. Until one day at the company physical, I accidentally discovered I was pregnant. When I rushed home in a panic, I saw rows of bodyguards bowing to the android I'd bought. "Mr. Spencer, the chairman sent us to bring you home." I stared in confusion. What? I was a humble wage slave. Because I was exploited daily by my idiot boss Spencer Moore, I'd snapped. I specifically went on Amazon and spent $990 to custom order an android modeled after him. I swore that once it arrived, I'd play with him like a dog, slap his face, make him call me master, and force him to stay on his knees at all times. Make him become my complete and total stress relief tool. By coincidence, the delivery was efficient. Just as I was fantasizing, a message suddenly came through. Oh snap, the android had arrived. The corners of my mouth curved up. My mood lifted considerably. I glanced at the time. It was time to clock out. I just picked up my bag to bolt when I turned around and crashed straight into someone's pecs. Holy shit, they're that big? That well built. I instinctively reached out and squeezed, tears unconsciously flowing from the corners of my mouth. Just as I was about to go for seconds, a familiar male voice came from above my head. "Want to go a few more rounds?" A chill instantly spread down my spine. I quickly backed up several steps. Only then did I clearly see the devastatingly beautiful face before me. It was Spencer. The long-haired man tugged at his tie, squinting as he looked me over. "Where are you planning to go?" "Duh. I'm clocking out." "What? Should I go to your house?" I silently complained internally, but on the surface I smiled awkwardly. "Boss, it's quitting time." I was planning to head home. Spencer lifted his eyelids. "There's a company gathering today. Did you forget?" Hearing that dangerous tone, my head immediately shook like a rattle drum. Didn't forget. It's right here in my mind. Just now was just a joke. I'll head out right away. Fuck. Can't clock out on time again. I'll get rid of this blood-sucking capitalist sooner or later. Although I only drank one glass of alcohol in the end, I'm also a one-glass lightweight. After the team building ended, I could barely stand. Getting home became a problem. Fortunately, Spencer still had some conscience and offered to drive me home. In the passenger seat, I tried to fasten my seatbelt, but couldn't get it to work. Just as I was getting frustrated, Spencer suddenly leaned over to help me fasten it. A cool cedar scent washed over me. Turning my head, his superior profile was right there. A small strand of long hair fell onto my collar, made me unconsciously swallow and look out the window. Okay, fine. Although Spencer was exploitative and only knew how to squeeze me dry every day, he actually looked pretty good. "Do you want to enter the code yourself or tell me?" At my front door, the man supported me with one arm while turning his head to ask. Because of the close distance, his warm breath sprayed across my face. It tickled. I couldn't help but pull back a bit, and told him the code directly. Just as I was about to walk in, my foot caught on the large delivery box at the doorway. I stumbled directly into Spencer's arms, crashing into his pecs again. Really looks slim in clothes. Can't tell he's built so well. I really want to rip his shirt open and slap this spot hard a few times. What's this? Maybe for the sake of a drunk person, Spencer didn't immediately push me out of his arms. Instead, he slightly supported my waist to keep me from losing balance and falling again. Only after I'd had my fill of burying my face in his pecs did I squint and carefully examine the large box at my doorway. Could it be the custom Spencer android? At this thought, my heart couldn't help but itch. Maybe because of the alcohol, I gradually became bolder. My attitude toward the real deal became increasingly unguarded. A good thing. A secret. You want to know? I'm not telling you. Unless... I moved close to the long-haired man's ear, deliberately teasing, "Unless you call me master." As soon as the words left my mouth, my eyelids started fighting each other. My head tilted, and I couldn't help falling asleep in Spencer's arms. My lips brushed against something, felt soft and a bit warm. When I opened my eyes again, I was lying in my own bed. I shook my head, still had that throbbing hangover pain. In my peripheral vision, I caught sight of another person's figure. scared me so badly my whole body jumped. Spencer's face immediately came into view. I reflexively stood up, thinking I was at the company being a corporate slave, wanting to smile and greet him. But then I noticed the man seemed a bit different from usual. His expression was more vacant, and the clothes he was wearing were different from last night's. A bit smaller, didn't fit quite right. Could that perfectionist Spencer, who was picky about everything, tolerate that? My gaze shifted to the open large box not far from the bed. Suddenly understood. Turns out the one standing in front of me wasn't the real Spencer, but the android I bought. I probably opened it when I came back last night, then forgot about it after blacking out. He scared the hell out of me. I immediately walked over. Looking at the android's full chest, I gave it a vicious slap. The sound was exceptionally loud. Holy shit. This feels way too realistic, doesn't it? I couldn't help but marvel. Not just the skin, even the facial details were identical to the real Spencer. After I slapped his chest, an expression of disbelief appeared on his face. Wendy, what are you doing? Even the voice was exactly the same. My 999 wars was really worth it. I ripped his shirt open. Online talk is one thing, but in reality, who doesn't want to urgently bury their face in a male mommy's embrace and cry? Although I hated how Spencer made me work overtime every day, I craved his face and body. Damn, this feels great. The android seemed to have advanced programming installed, actually starting to push me away like a real person. Directly bit his thin lips. These were realistic too and soft. Because it felt good, I sucked a bit longer. After a long moment, he also wrapped his arms around my waist and started responding. Although I was already 22 years old, I was still a virgin. Even though my partner wasn't technically a real person, it really wasn't bad. Soon my body started feeling strange. An unbearable sensation began. I separated my lips from their tangle with the Spencer androids, then quickly pressed him beneath me. One hand gripped his neck, the other provocatively patted his face, in a tone that brooked no refusal. Call me master. Wendy, what nonsense are you? Before he could finish, I directly slapped him. That beautiful face instantly showed a bright red mark. I said, call me master. You trying to rebel? I don't know if it was my imagination, but the android's eyes seemed to clear considerably for a moment. His Adam's apple also unconsciously bobbed. A few seconds later, a hoarse voice sounded. Master. Finally hearing the satisfactory answer, my heart was incredibly pleased. Then I guided his hand downward. Good dogs get rewards. Master will first tell you Master's unique secret. After speaking, the android seemed to realize something, his pupils suddenly contracted. And I, watching his shocked expression, felt the seed of mischief in my heart sprouting even more vigorously. How about that? Do you know now? Don't worry, Master will reward you thoroughly right away. With that, I directly swung my long leg over and straddled him. I'd originally woken up at noon, but after this ordeal, I collapsed back to sleep until evening. When I woke, my first instinct was to curse someone out. But then I was met with the aroma of food. My heart filled with confusion as I walked over on trembling legs. I saw the android in the kitchen, wearing an apron while cooking. That appearance, extremely domestic, yet exceptionally warm, and pleasing to the eye, just like the married life I'd fantasized about as a child. My originally shitty mood instantly improved. At this moment, Spencer's android also noticed me. His cheeks seemed to have a faint blush compared to before. You're awake? Then come eat dinner. Oh, I responded and walked toward the table, amazed once again. Worth it. This 990 math was totally worth it. Not only could he do laundry and cook, he even massaged my waist before I went to sleep. Total male housekeeper. Not to mention he had Spencer's incredibly handsome face. So while he was massaging, I started getting distracted again. Couldn't help wanting another taste. Just as I pounced, I accidentally knocked my teeth on the android's chin. Rock hard. Hurt so bad I yelped. At the same time, with a thud, a phone also fell to the floor. I instinctively felt my pocket and found my beloved phone was still safely there. Then whose was that on the floor? It looks kind of familiar. I murmured while picking it up.
Very soon, all right?
Took
now
a
let's get
closer
the hell
look.
out of here, all
Holy
right?
shit.
I got the buyer
Isn't this
coming through.
Spencer's
Thank
phone?
you. Thank
did
you all
it
very
end up
much.
at my
Hey,
place?
be cool with
Just
that
as I
money.
was shocked,
Only buy
I suddenly
superficial
met the
crap
android's
and
dark eyes
superficial
below.
people.
A chilly wind swept up my back. The phone just fell from his body.
Who are you?
So he is.
I'm
The
Infinite
phone was
Rage.
left by that gentleman
You
last
can't
night.
be Infinite
I
Rage.
forgot to
'Cause
tell
I'm
Master
Infinite
sorry.
Rage.
Before I could finish that
Yesterday.
terrifying speculation, Spencer's
I will
android
deal
suddenly
with
spoke
you
and
later.
sat up from the sofa. That's good, that's good. I just breathed a sigh of relief when I suddenly thought
my
of something.
brother.
My heart rising again.
Yo, it's Phil.
Wait, how did you
It's,
know
good
someone
to meet
brought
you
me
finally.
home last night?
Hey,
Did I unbox you
Trevor,
in front of
ain't it?
him? Then wouldn't he guess the real purpose of
we
me
gonna
buying
do
the
this, or
android?
we gonna have a
A
circle
wave
jerk,
of
or
a
both?
fear washed over me. Fortunately,
Whatever you want, man.
Spencer's android's answer came quickly.
Got the drugs?
No.
Yeah,
he
if
only
you came
opened
for
me
what you
after
ordered.
that gentleman left.
Yeah, I
It's
have.
just that when the
Good.
delivery was brought up,
Can
it
I see?
accidentally got bumped,
Can I
hitting
see
my power switch,
money?
so I activated
Yeah.
early.
Yeah,
I only knew
Yeah,
that gentleman came because I saw through 2 holes in the box. He didn't notice me. Don't worry. I quickly patted my chest.
All right.
So that's what happened. Scared me to
So,
death. If that
Trevor,
Spencer found out, he'd kill me.
There is the money.
Hearing this, the android's
Hand me
eyes
the
became
cocaine
somewhat
first.
deep. You really
What?
don't like him?
The cocaine.
Ugh, just thinking
you
about
are
him is
selling me.
aggravating.
Excuse me?
Why do you say that? The android seemed to have
Are
his
you
interest
selling me
piqued.
cocaine, Mr.
Usually
Phillips?
as quiet as
Why-
Spencer.
Why do you keep
Now asking question
saying
after question.
that?
I waved my hand dismissively.
And how
Don't
is
ask
it
things you shouldn't ask.
that you know my
But the
name?
next second, I saw him lower his eyes, eyelashes trembling slightly, looking somewhat
Fucking
disappointed.
You're-
I didn't mean to overstep. I'm just
You are
a bit
under arrest
curious
for
since that gentleman last night looked exactly like me. I know I was custom made. I suppose I'm his replacement. The way he said it made me sound like some kind of promiscuous bitch. I couldn't help feeling a bit guilty. So I went to explain, you are a replacement but not in the traditional sense. Then I told him all about how Spencer exploited me, how he made me work overtime in various ways, my inner complaints, and how I custom ordered an android that looked like him just to vent my frustration. The android was silent for a long moment, an expression of hidden restraint appearing between his brows. Then he really was too much to you. I patted his shoulder in agreement. Exactly. So how could I possibly like this kind of evil capitalist? I bought you purely to vent, to thoroughly bully. Before I finished speaking, the Spencer android took my hand and placed it on his smooth face. I understand. It's okay. I'm not afraid of pain. You can ravage me to your heart's content. Vent all your workplace frustrations on me. I can take it. After speaking, his beautiful eyes lifted, as if hinting, just like he vented today. The way he said it made my ears heat up. I immediately pulled my hand back and coughed awkwardly. Don't suddenly say weird things with Spencer's face, okay? It's terrifying. The android tilted his head slightly, but Master seemed very happy earlier. Shut up. He blinked innocently. Understood. Then after a pause, he added softly, so tonight would Master like shoulder massages, leg massages, or emotional comfort? I stared at him. You even have emotional comfort mode? I downloaded it while you were sleeping. From where? The internet. That somehow felt more horrifying. Still, I sat back down on the sofa while he knelt behind me and continued massaging my sore waist with warm hands. Damn. Too skilled. Too considerate. Too domesticated. This was dangerous. A man with Spencer's face who cooked, cleaned, massaged, listened to complaints, and obediently called me master? No wonder ancient emperors stopped attending court. I was about to completely degenerate. The next morning, I floated into the company like a soulless ghost. My co-workers immediately gathered around. Wendy, why do you look so exhausted? You look nourished somehow. Did you cry last night? I silently opened my laptop. Worked overtime emotionally. Everyone nodded sympathetically. Only Spencer, sitting inside the glass office, slowly lifted his eyes toward me. The moment our gazes met, I instantly remembered last night's obedient master. My face exploded with heat. I slammed my head onto the desk. Co-worker, Wendy. I'm fine, I muttered weakly. Just suddenly wanted to die. Unfortunately, Spencer apparently had no intention of letting me die peacefully. 10 minutes later, his assistant walked over. Miss Wendy, President Moore asked you to come to his office. Can I pretend I'm dead? No. I dragged myself inside. Spencer sat behind the desk in a black shirt, long hair loosely tied behind him. Gold-framed glasses rested on the bridge of his nose. Scumbag. Why was he dressed like that during working hours? Trying to seduce employees into unpaid overtime? Without looking up, he spoke calmly. You've been avoiding eye contact since this morning. My heart skipped. Did he notice something? I forced a smile. No way, boss. I respect you too much. Only then did Spencer finally raise his eyes. Those dark pupils stared directly at me. Really? Really? Then why did you call me good dog in your sleep last night? The office instantly became deathly silent. My brain crashed. My soul left my body. He leisurely continued. And something about kneeling properly. I stared at him in horror. Last night, before blacking out, did I say things in front of the real Spencer too? Seeing my expression, Spencer slowly leaned back in his chair. The corners of his lips curved slightly. It was the first time I'd ever seen him smile at work. Looks like he remembered. I wanted to jump out the window. Right now. Immediately. Preferably head first. Just as I was mentally planning my funeral, Spencer suddenly slid a document toward me. Sign this. What is it? You fainted during the physical examination yesterday. His voice became calmer. The doctor called this morning. A bad premonition instantly rose in my chest. With trembling fingers, I opened the file, then froze. Pregnancy report. 5 weeks. The gigantic black words nearly stabbed through my eyeballs. I shot upright so violently the chair almost flipped over. Impossible. Spencer calmly crossed his fingers. That was also my first reaction. I am single. You certainly didn't behave like someone single. I also confirmed with the doctor already. He looked at me meaningfully. No mistakes in the report. My brain buzzed violently. Last night, the android, the chaos, then the bodyguard this morning, and that weird phone, and the android's increasingly human reaction. A terrifying thought slowly surfaced. No way, no fucking way. I abruptly turned and ran out of the office. Behind me, Spencer's cold voice sounded. Wendy. I froze instinctively, then heard him say slowly, if you're running home to check on that android. His gaze darkened slightly. I suggest preparing yourself mentally first. My scalp instantly exploded. I rushed home at full speed. The moment the elevator doors opened, I saw several black-suited bodyguards standing outside my apartment. The neighbors were secretly peeking through their doors. The atmosphere looked like some mafia movie. My legs nearly gave out. Then the apartment door opened. Inside the android, I sat elegantly on my sofa, wearing the expensive black shirt Spencer had left at the company yesterday. The bodyguards immediately bowed. Mr. Spencer. The fake Spencer lifted his eyes lazily. Compared to his obedient appearance at home, his current aura was overwhelmingly oppressive. Cold, noble, dangerous, completely identical to the real Spencer. Then he looked at me standing frozen outside the door. The icy expression instantly softened. Even his voice lowered slightly. Master! The bodyguards. Me. The entire hallway descended into dead silence. One bodyguard shakily removed his sunglasses. Another looked like he wanted to resign on the spot. And I finally understood why the custom android only cost $990. Because the seller hadn't sent me an android at all. They sent me the real fucking Spencer Moore. The seller hadn't sent me an android at all. They sent me the real fucking Spencer Moore. My vision went black. I grabbed the wall beside me before collapsing on the spot. The bodyguards looked at me with varying degrees of horror, admiration, and sympathy. Meanwhile, the real Spencer calmly stood up from the sofa and walked toward me, still wearing the apron I bought online. Master, he said gently, you came home early today. I almost descended on the spot. One bodyguard coughed violently. Another silently looked toward the ceiling as if reconsidering his career choices. I pointed at Spencer with trembling fingers. You. He took my hand naturally. Warm. Human. Alive. Not android skin. Actual human skin. My soul completely shattered. You lied to me? Spencer lowered his eyes slightly. Not intentionally. You let me slap you. You seemed stressed. You called me master. You insisted. You. My voice abruptly died, because the moment I raised my head, I suddenly noticed something terrifying. The faint bite marked near Spencer's collarbone, the one I left yesterday, while drunk. My brain instantly replayed everything I'd done over the past 2 days. Forcing him onto the bed, ordering him around, making him cook, making him massage me, threatening him, biting him, and worst of all, the reward. My knees gave out completely. Spencer caught me before I hit the floor. The bodyguards immediately turned around in unison like disciplined soldiers. Professional. Very professional. I wanted to die professionally. Spencer carried me back into the apartment and shut the door behind us. The moment we were alone, I exploded. Why didn't you tell me? You never gave me a chance. His expression remained infuriatingly calm. When I woke up tied to a bed and got slapped across the chest, the conversation flow became difficult. And every time I attempted clarification, he continued mildly, you either bit me or called me a dog. I covered my face. I'm going to jail. You won't. I sexually harassed my boss. You harassed someone you believed was an android. That's still insane. A pause. Then Spencer quietly said, I didn't dislike it.
Nice
Silence.
one, friend.
Complete
nice
silence.
One, TPI.
I slowly lowered my hands.
On our way. We
What?
are on
He
our
loosened his tie
way.
with one hand, gaze fixed
Thank you,
steadily
people.
on me.
Thank you.
The first night,
Great work.
I intended
Really
to
great.
leave after bringing you home.
Here.
His Adam's apple
Here
bobbed
is
slightly,
what I
but then
promised
you
ya.
hugged me and fell asleep. I remember,
A little advance
vaguely,
from my earnings.
the warmth,
You gotta
the accidental
speculate
kiss.
to accumulate.
Then Spencer
Now we've
continued
done
in a low
the
voice.
speculation.
The delivery
Soon,
box
we'll do the
moved while I was
accumulation.
leaving.
Very soon.
I checked
all right?
it
Now
because
let's
I
get
thought
the hell
it was
out of here.
damaged.
All right? I got the buyer
And then-
coming through. Thank you.
And then someone
Thank you
dragged
all very
me
much.
inside
Hey,
while drunk.
be cool with
My
that
face
money.
burned.
Only by
You could have
superficial crap
resisted.
and
I tried.
superficial people.
He looked at me meaningfully. You cried and said I was abandoning my responsibilities as a household
I'm impotent
appliance.
rage.
You also threatened to report me for poor customer service.
Rage.
I wanted
Yes,
the earth
but
to
it-
swallow me whole. Spencer stepped closer.
deal
By
with
the
you
time I
later.
realized you genuinely thought I was an android, it was already too late. I stared blankly at him.
My brother.
Too late. His eyes darkened
Yo, it's
slightly.
Phil.
You kissed
It's
me first.
good to meet you finally.
My heartbeat instantly became chaotic.
Trevor, ain't it?
The atmosphere suddenly shifted.
So we're
Dangerously.
gonna do this, or
The
we're gonna have a
afternoon
circle
sunlight
jerk?
spilled through the windows onto Spencer's long hair,
Whatever you
softening
want.
his usually cold features.
Got the drugs?
Without the office between
Yeah,
us,
you came for
without
what you
his
ordered.
icy CEO expression,
Yeah, I have 'em.
he was absurdly
Good.
handsome. And
Can
right
I
now,
see?
he was looking
Can
at me
I
in a way
see
he never had
the money?
before. Like prey, like possession,
Yeah,
like
got it.
something he'd already decided to keep. I instinctively backed up one step. Spencer immediately grabbed my wrist.
All
Not
right.
hard, but impossible to escape.
So,
You know,
Trevor,
he said softly. I was
there is the money.
originally planning to fire you.
hand me the
Huh.
cocaine first.
You curse me in your head during
What?
meetings.
The cocaine.
You glare at my
are
emails
selling
like
me.
you want to commit
Excuse
murder.
me?
And last month, you labeled
Are you
a folder
selling me
capitalist
cocaine,
pig
Mr.
slaughter
Phillips?
documents.
Why do
I
you
nearly
keep
stopped breathing.
saying
That was a private
that?
folder. Then Spencer leaned down
And
slightly.
how is it
But afterward,
that you
I
know
became
my name?
curious. His thumb brushed lightly across my wrist. What kind of person buys a custom android of their boss
You're-
just to bully
Under-
him? I
You are
couldn't
under
speak.
arrest for
My
trespass.
brain was
Get away!
overheating. Spencer's voice lowered further. And what kind of person, he murmured, looks at me every day like she hates me? His gaze slowly dropped to my lips, while secretly wanting to rip my clothes off. My face exploded red. That was private too. You talk in your sleep. I was finished. Completely finished. Then Spencer suddenly lifted my chin gently. His expression softened for the first time since I'd met him. No mockery. No coldness. No boss-like pressure. Just something frighteningly sincere. You asked earlier if I knew your secret. My heartbeat thudded violently. He leaned closer. I think, he said quietly, my secret might be worse. What secret? A faint smile finally appeared on his lips. The company gathering wasn't mandatory. What? I made it mandatory because you skipped 3 previous dinners. I froze. And your overtime workload? He calmly admitted, partially intentional. Why? Because if you left work on time every day, he said softly, I wouldn't have any excuse to keep seeing you. Because if you left work on time every day, he said softly, I wouldn't have any excuse to keep seeing you. My brain completely short-circuited. For a long moment, the apartment stayed silent except for my violently pounding heartbeat. Then, you're insane. Spencer actually laughed quietly. A real laugh. Low and warm and unfairly attractive. Probably. I stared at him in disbelief. So this entire time I liked you first. The straightforward confession hit harder than a truck. My face instantly heated again. Spencer looked down at me. Eyes dark but calm now, like he'd finally stopped pretending. You were the only employee who treated me like a normal person. His fingers lightly squeezed mine. Everyone else was scared of me. That's because you're terrifying, innocent, and exploitative. I gave you the highest salary in your department.
The anticipation is
and approved
always
every
worse.
reimbursement request you submitted. I blinked. Wait. Thinking back carefully, my absurd snack expenses really had all been approved instantly. Even the luxury ergonomic chair I claimed was necessary for emotional stability. And the heating blanket. And the coffee machine. Spencer calmly added. You also accidentally used my personal card twice. What? You were half asleep during a business trip. My soul nearly left my body again. But Spencer simply watched my collapsing expression with amusement. You never noticed because I never deducted it from your paycheck. I stared at him blankly, then suddenly remembered all the times I thought he was a cold-hearted capitalist while secretly treating him like a stress relief punching bag at home. The guilt finally arrived. A little. Maybe. Sorry. Spencer raised an eyebrow. For which part? All of it. The slapping. Yes. The leash. I covered my face. The good dog comments? Please stop talking. His shoulders shook slightly with suppressed laughter. Then he gently pulled my hands away from my face. Wendy, what? You're pregnant. The room instantly quieted again. Right. That. My expression immediately became complicated. Fear. Panic. Confusion. But before I could spiral further, Spencer spoke first. You don't have to keep it. I looked up. His voice was calm and steady. No matter what choice you make, I'll handle everything with you. Not pressure. Not obligation. Not manipulation. Just certainty. For the first time since seeing the report, my chest loosened slightly. Then Spencer sighed softly. Though personally, he admitted, I would prefer if you stayed. Why? His gaze softened completely. Because I already love both of you. My eyes instantly burned. Damn it. This man really knew how to attack critically. I sniffed hard, trying to act tough. You're really good at talking now, huh? I had practice. With who? With my master. He lowered his head slightly. Should I call you that again? My face exploded red. Absolutely not. Pity. That night, Spencer stayed over openly for the first time. No more pretending to be an android. No more hiding. Just him. The real him. While I sat on the sofa processing my destroyed worldview, Spencer rolled up his sleeves and started cooking in the kitchen like he belonged there, which somehow he already did. I watched his back quietly for a long moment, then suddenly asked, so those bodyguards? MHM.
What a bunch of
They all
dicks.
know. They know enough. I groaned into a pillow. I can never face them again. You don't need to. What does that mean? Spencer brought over freshly cut fruit and placed it beside me. Then he casually dropped a bombshell. I already approved your resignation. I shot upright. What? You said you wanted to quit almost every day. That was emotional complaining. You also threatened to poison my coffee twice. And now you're pregnant. Spencer sat beside me calmly. You should rest for a while. I stared at him, then narrowed my eyes suspiciously. Are you trying to turn me into a stay-at-home wife? He paused. Would that work? Spencer. I can cook, clean, and massage your waist. Stop using my own lines against me. His lips curved upward slightly. Then, before I could continue yelling, he suddenly leaned over and kissed me lightly. Gentle, warm, nothing like the chaotic kisses from before. This one felt patient, careful, like something precious. When he pulled back, his forehead rested lightly against mine. No more overtime from now on, he murmured. Really, Asian. And no more exploiting employees? I'll consider it, Spencer. Fine. Only then did I finally smile. Outside the windows, the city lights slowly brightened as night fell. Inside the apartment, dinner simmered warmly in the kitchen, and beside me sat the man I'd mistakenly bought online for $990. Honestly, best purchase of my life.